The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
All right, good evening, everyone. We'll call to order this meeting of the City of Estevan for May the 9th, 2022. First of all, can I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented, plus a little visit from the champs? Thank you, Councillor Veroba. Second, Councillor Ford. All in favor? Carried. All right, can I have a motion out there to accept the minutes from April 25th, 2022? Councillor Clark, Councillor Reliezer, all in favor? Aye. All right, well, welcome everybody. Tonight we have a special guest, two special guests, well, many special guests, but tonight we are joined by the 2022 SJHL champions, your Estevan Bruins. Welcome everyone, and on behalf of the City of Estevan and also on behalf of the Mayor, which is not here tonight, congratulations on a championship year. The blood, sweat, and tears left on Affinity Ice when the clock hit zero was truly amazing, and it's something that the city will never forget. Thank you for sharing your time with us tonight, and also thank you for bringing this beautiful cup that you won tonight. So I'll open up the floor to any councillors who would have anything to say. Councillor Clark.
Thanks, I guess, Chairman tonight, or Deputy Mayor. I just want to congratulate everybody that's involved here, from the coaches to the players, billets, everybody, the board, the volunteers, everybody that's been involved. You've done so much. You were the conference leaders, the overall point leader, the league champions. You went through blizzards, power outages, 2 trips to Flin Flon. You had an overtime loss, but you had 2 overtime wins, a goal with 5.8 seconds to go. You had the highest league attendance for regular season. You averaged 1,761 fans in the playoffs, 2 sellouts, the largest 50-50 in Estevan and probably in the SJHL history. You brought our city together, and we have some great memories, and we just want you to know that we're so thankful that we get to entertain us for 10 more days at the end of the month. And anybody that has sat out any of this year needs to see this team play. They're just truly a fantastic, entertaining team, and I just want to wish you good luck at the Centennial Cup, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. Anybody else? Councillor Ford.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I don't know how to top that. You basically said everything we were all going to say, but just a congratulations again. Congratulations to the coaches, the boards, the players, absolutely everybody who was involved. And I think after many long years of sports droughts, I think it's nice that the drought finished in Estevan. And with COVID, it was nice to see everyone together and to be together again. And hopefully we continue this on with Centennial Cup. So good luck.
All right, anybody else? Good. I'll open the floor to anybody over there, the Bruins organization. Anybody want to, you got to come up to the microphone there and just crank her on. And
yeah, I'd just like to say thank you on behalf of the Estevan Bruins for the endless support you guys have shown us all year, and thank you for supporting us all the way until Centennial Cup coming up here soon. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Awesome. If that's it for the words, can we get all you to huddle around, put the cup in front of you? Oh, sorry, one more we got.
Hey guys, Josh Biggs, President of the Estevan Bruins. Just wanted to say thank you very much to the city for the support, especially with Centennial Cup coming up. That's been huge, and I think seeing things like we did on Friday night with the turnout and bringing people together, especially after COVID and especially with what our hospitality industry has faced, it's been great. I know we saw full restaurants, full hotels, and as we ramp up to Centennial Cup here, it's just going to get even crazier and busier for that. So it's going to be a great boom for the city, and just wanted to say a real thank you of support from for council. Thank you.
All right. Council, if you want to come back here, and like I said, everybody, if you can just crowd around there, get the cup in front of you, quick photo op, and
I'm still good.
Are you taller than me?
So the short one on the track?
yeah, throw the cup out front there if you would, or if somebody wants to hoist it, that's okay.
Okay, but we're not even the same height as them down on the ground.
I know. We need our height in us.
Do I got the right finger up?
Hang on. Just kidding.
The tallest boy's right for the counselors.
And the shortest counselor is behind the tallest boy. No, we're good.
Awesome.
We'll do autographs after.
Yeah, again, thank everyone for showing up. Short and sweet, and thank you for sharing your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Take care.
Sir, I'm on it.
Whoa. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming.
Good job, Phil. Good job, buddy. Good job, guys. It's awesome. Good luck at Centennial, boys. It's going to be awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good season, boys. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Good luck at Centennial.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Good luck at Centennial. Good playing, guys. Awesome. Good season.
Awesome.
Good luck at Centennial, guys. Awesome. Good job, guys. Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. Double the COVID. Thanks for coming, guys. Awesome. I'm gonna die COVID like that. Holy.
If you guys want, we can show you how to run your own rod. You can make your own for your own hometown.
Better yet, with the one not here, if you guys want, you could take that.
Roy's not here.
With this worship out of attendance.
The leader's away, the mice are away.
Awesome. Well, that was a little bit of excitement to get her going. Next up, original communications, delegations, and petitions. First up, we have Gail Titz-Lansvik, bench request to beautify the community. Does you want to step up to the mic, Gail? I'll kind of just read the letter a little bit. You've done 2 benches, completed 2, 1 in the works. Current locations are by Fast Gas and Blunt Expressions, third going in front of either A&W or the Old Derrick. There's empty benches on 5th by the physio, a couple more at the courthouse, and stuff like that. So city had agreed to cover 2 of these. Arts Council will do 1 of them. In the future, the city would cover the cost of the back structure. Basically, it's looking like, you know, like $150, $200 a bench. This kind of.
Well, just for the back, about 100 and...
Oh.
This is not my good side. So just Travis put that into my brain. No, but no. So we were just going to put it out for the benches, and since the back is like structural. Travis suggested maybe that's something the city could cover. If they don't want to, that's fine too, but the Arts Council would cover the art and, of course, obtaining all of that for the benches. And then I had talked about also doing whatever benches are available. So there's...
So kind of tonight you're just looking for approval to 2 more?
For more benches, because we have 3, like 2 that the city's doing, 1 that the Arts Council is doing. And then we would like some more, because really, I thought, has everyone seen them, or has anyone seen them?
Yeah, and I think we had a picture.
I have the sample print for those who haven't. Anyway, so I thought they turned out really nice. So the other things that we wanted want to put a call out for art because I'm not doing these like I think I've done my fill. I'd like to put a call out to artists in the community. So to do more benches, also to do a couple of the, I don't know what they're called, but the power boxes by the lights. And I talked to Norm just briefly about that, and he said, yeah, that's fine, whatever. I know Regina and Saskatoon both have some painted. I don't know if I'm real thrilled with the paint thing, but.
Okay, we'll just stick with the benches for now, and we'll get to the wraps and lights in there. So I'll open the floor to Councillor Frank on the benches.
Sure thing. Yeah, and just to give a little background to this, as Gail mentioned, there's 2 out now. They are installed already too, correct? Yeah.
Right, and I still.
Yeah.
I still need to paint those because that was what I had proposed to the city was that I would paint them and repair them because one's missing a board and they're, they need painting. Of course, now it's raining. We went from snow to rain anyway, so I will look after painting them to coordinate with whatever is on them.
Yeah, so it's just a great opportunity to take some of the benches around town and beautify them a little bit, as well as just coming from the Art Council Board, which Gail and I both are on, opportunity to show off some art and some of our local artists. It's something I know we kind of all wanted to see more of, so this is a really great option. So the way Gail is doing it, just for background, is there's a metal plate that goes, or a metal back that gets built for the actual benches, and then a vinyl decal that they install. So the vinyl decal lasts about 10 years, but it's very inexpensive to be changed, and that's something the Art Council has agreed or is willing to take on as a cost for their as part of their mission to put art out. What we kind of discussed would be a good opportunity would be that the city would cover the cost of that metal backing, as that's kind of structure, and it will last much longer than 10 years. So really, in my perspective, and this is what I would support, is that as a city, keeping up the structure of the benches, that's our job anyways. So that's a cost that we could bear, and in exchange, we get the Art Council gets to do these wonderful pieces. So what Gail's kind of asking for is as many benches, and that would, I guess, go to our Parks Department or to Norm to just decide what ones are available and what we can do. But yeah, that's open for the rest of council.
Councillor Verhoeven.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I was just going to say I really like the way they look, and so they would all be different, and it would be just an expression of art by the artist, what they see type thing, so it's not any real meaning behind the bench other than to beautify the city.
Right, I kind of, because the one person asked, what are you looking for? And if we're the energy city, I want energy. So, and that was, I had said I would do a sunrise, so there you go. But definitely something that's, energizing, if there's such a thing.
So if that was Councillor Frank's motion to proceed with this, and I would second that motion. The only thing I would say is I think the benches by the courthouse probably belong. They're like a provincial thing, not a city.
I'll have to double check that. I would assume if it's on courthouse property, it's courthouse.
Yeah, but I think the one especially by the old Derrick property is definitely in need. I've often had people send me a picture of that bench and say, like, what's going on with this bench? So I think that this would be a great opportunity to beautify some of those benches. So I would second that motion of Councillor Franks.
All right. Councillor Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Thanks for coming, Gail. Just a question. Has there been any consultation with the Indigenous arts community in the area? Are we able to designate 1 or 2 benches or something for Indigenous artwork around the community, or has anyone stepped forward for that?
No, and I thought once I put the call out that I mean, really, I would like to have, for it to be inclusive. So, I mean, that would definitely be something that I would like to see.
Okay, and as soon as you put that call out, can you let me know and I can send it along to the Métis Council as well and see if they can find anybody as well? Thank you.
Perfect. So, everybody's good? You have a motion? We got to second it. Ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. So, for number 2, paint and wrap some stoplight boxes. You've been in contact with Norm. Start with 2, see how it goes. Sounds good. AC will cover the costs. Arts Council, obviously we're just looking for permission to proceed right now. So I will open the floor to council. And I guess first, any comments on that? Good. So, Councillor Clark.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. I know that there's multiple boxes. Some are power, some are energy or different things. I think Gail has identified some that are belonging to the city, and I think it would, if it doesn't hinder any of our boxes, I think it would put a little color into some of those areas that aren't maybe that appealing. So I would support that motion to proceed with those in conjunction with Norm after he's okayed them.
Okay, anybody second that motion? Councillor Ford? Ready for the question? All in favor? Number 3 on the list, permission to add the pump station on King Street to our list of mural options. Now, when you say pump station on King, are you talking through the valley by
I guess it's
Boston
a lift
Pizza?
station. The lift station or whatever, the one
Okay.
just past BP's.
Okay, perfect. So that's
And I hear there's another one, but I can't find it.
yeah. So we'll keep that one hidden behind the hospital. No. So I'll open the floor to that one. Councillor Leeser?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Anybody second that motion? Councillor Ford? Ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. So I guess you have work to do.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. Next up, under Communications, Delegations, and Petitions, Community Pantry Location Discussion. After a motion from the April 25th meeting, there was a community pantry to be accepted as presented approval to enter into a land usage agreement for the city lot behind Smith Street to be used as a community pantry with notice given to the surrounding area neighbors. Letter was sent out to the neighbors. There was all sorts of feedback, and I'll open the floor to council for any discussion on that. Councilor Roba?
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. I had quite a few residents in that area contact me. Their belief is that there's a better location. I think the community garden has a lot of positive reasons why we would proceed, but I don't think that we should proceed in that location. I think when we have that many people in one area, and I don't think it's anything against the community garden itself or what it stands for, or what it wants to do, or the people that are running it. I think that what it is it's just not welcome in that location. And so we had alternative locations. I think it'd be different if we had no other alternative location. That was the one, the hill that we were going to die on. But I honestly think that there's going to be a different location available. I think we've already discussed one over in the Westview area possibly. And I think that's what we should look at. So my recommendation is that we would not continue with the community garden in that location, and that we basically will proceed hopefully this year in the other desired location.
I would echo the exact same comments. Councillor Frank?
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. Yes, and having seconded this, and I know I spoke with Chris last week a little bit about, I know he's working well with our management team to try to find the perfect location that will fit in with the community. And I really thank you guys for all the work you've done and continue to do. You've been working really hard. So I think, and it obviously wasn't in the motion, but I know when we discussed this, we kind of left it a little bit too with our management team to help them with site selection. And I think if you'd be okay with that, Councillor Vrobe, I'd be quite okay with empowering our management team to, with some consultation with the community, which I know, having spoke with Chris, he's doing a little bit of that too, to make sure that we have it in a place that's going to be well received and welcome, and hopefully some people who want to help out with it would be even better in that neighborhood, however that gets to work out. But between that and our management team, I'm pretty open to whatever location we need to choose that is our property to do it. So.
Yeah, I'm okay with the fact that management team assists with picking the location and stuff. I just think if the second location we gets the exact same feedback, then we really need to look at what we're doing here. I do agree with the fact that the garden needs to be an area that's more open, so that, especially with the parking, et cetera, things like that come in. And again, I know in Brandon, Manitoba, where I've seen one of the community gardens that is massive over in the West End, and it's right behind people's homes, but it is in a field. Nothing but positive. It's absolutely positive. And I think once we have this location, once we get it established, I think everyone in our community is going to understand exactly what it's going to bring to our community. And the other thing is, a lot of the people I spoke to it wasn't that they were against the garden. They just didn't think that was an appropriate location based on the fact that the laneway with their garages, et cetera, there was a lot of concerns. And so I do think that management is going to be able to find, with the help of the committee, to basically find the perfect location.
Perfect. So we have a motion and a seconder. Everybody ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. So basically at the end of the idea and everything is all good. We're just going to find a different location. Councillor Frank?
I'll just make a last remark that, yeah, this project still has at least my, I won't speak for everybody else's, but full support. This is, I think, going to be a really great endeavor in our community. So thank you guys so much for your work.
Perfect. Okay, next on the agenda is OTS request for a special events permit. So the Estevan OTS is seeking letter of approval for a special event permit to sell liquor. The letter here says Power Dodge Arena, but just before the meeting got changed to the Power Dodge Curling Center, which doesn't really affect anything other than the letter, and we didn't have nothing ready for the permit anyway. So this event is the 65th annual OTS tournament to be held June 3rd. The supper will take place Saturday, June 4th, beginning at 6 p.m. ending at 2 a.m. Thank you in advance for your consideration. Regards, me. Tony Cernak, OTS Golf Chair. So I will abstain from voting on this, obviously, but I'll open up the floor. Councillor Clark.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'll make that motion to approve that.
Awesome. Any seconder? Councillor Ford, ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. Oh, I voted. Sorry.
Oh, Mark, you was unvoting.
Thank you. So, written reports of committees. First up, we have Sewers Valley Museum. Do I have a motion out there to accept the minutes for the Sewers Valley Museum? Oh, Councillor Frank?
Yes.
Everybody second, Councillor Ford. Any questions, comments out there? Councillor Leeser? But nothing? Okay. All ready for the question? Oh, sorry, Councillor Ford.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Walliser, in the March 28th meeting, we had received a request from the Sewers Valley Museum regarding the plaque for Henry Yule Hind, and we had requested to get some confirmation from the Truth and Reconciliation Committee to see if that was an appropriate person to have in our area, kind of thing. Has there been any feedback on that?
Not at this time. It remains on the agenda for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, ready for the question? All in favor? Minutes carried. Next up, we have the Esteban Public Library minutes. Can I have a motion to approve those? Councillor Walliser, Councillor Varoba, all in favor? Carried. Up next, we have the Sewers Valley Theatre Strategic Plan 2022. So the theatre just wanted to share this with council and also the public, just to let them know that obviously they've been down and out for a couple years with the pandemic, and they have a plan going forward. It's kind of almost a fresh start for them. And again, they wanted to share it with the city and the public because the city is the biggest contributor to the theater. So they just want to let everybody know, rest assured that, you know, there's a plan going forward and they're just not winging it. So the executive summary, first thing it says, Sewers Valley Theatre is back. And then it explains everything that they've been doing. I'll just go over their vision is to be the professional live theater destination of the Southeast and beyond. Their mission is to bring performing arts, youth, and audiences together to engage in the experience of live entertainment. So, sure, everybody, there's lots of reading there, but again, they just want to assure everybody that everything's moving forward and we'll see where the summer goes. So, I have a motion to accept the strategic plan of Councillor Clark. Seconded. Councillor Frank. All in favor? Carried. Up next, executive reports. Street paint supply chain shortage. Norm is in attendance. Would you like to come and give us the rundown first?
Sure, Deputy Worship. Back in December, of last year, I got a call that notification there is a supply chain shortage on street paint. So we went right ahead and got our tender out quickly, submitted it, and we had awarded it to General Paint in Regina. And in the meantime, I've had contractors that do this for a living phoning me asking if the city had extra paint. So I knew there was a problem before General Paint called, and it's all to do with this plant in Texas. I had an ice storm, and then there's supply chain issues with chemicals and ingredients to the paint. So I went to the runner-up, which is Cloverdale from Regina, which is in the tender, and they can't supply either. They could supply in 6 weeks with 45-gallon drums. They just aren't appropriate for our business, the drums. Okay. So in the meantime, General Paint has hunted down some paint in Quebec. The tender price was $95 a 5-gallon pail. Now it's at $140. So it's gone up. Obviously, everybody's after it. It's a wide shortage throughout North America. So I can get this paint. We do have some paint that the airport's slated to be fog coated, oiled, and then painted this year. We kept some back at the airport and just holding it there because we knew the shortage was even there last year. So we could use the paint that's stored at the airport right now, and order this new paint from Quebec and replace the airports. The budget amount for the paint that we tendered for was $63,000. My proposal is, it's pretty important. The Centennial Cup's coming with good weather. Maybe next week we can get this. We won't do it this week, but next week we can get the line paints done. The crosswalks, we'll get some important ones done maybe. And maybe paint it one application for now and just hold on to that, and maybe that will be it for the year, or maybe the supply chain will ease up and we'll get our paint later. So I would like to bring in about approximately 250 pails of paint, which equals about half of the $63,000 initially tendered for. So we're looking at roughly $32,000 for about half supply and replenish the airports. But we could start painting next week if the weather permits.
Okay.
I think it's important for a company coming to town for the Centennial Cup and also for safety. And if we lose some of these lines, we're out there surveying once again, and it's a bigger chore yet once they're erased. So it's, I ask for council support.
Yeah, so you kind of presented us with two options. Option A, we spend the tendered amount, receive less paint. We'll get the crosswalks, all lanes painted until we run out of product. Or option B, order paint for the lines and only one application instead of 3. Skip doing crosswalks and other sorts of markings and arrows this year.
Or option C would be to do
just
nothing, I guess.
Councilor Verova.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. So Norm, the only question I had was the general paint, because we do put these tenders out.
Right.
And now the price has gone up, but they did tender us a price, and I understand the whole shortage. Did they at all work with us and come to the table a little bit to say basically, okay, so now the price has jumped up to $140. We quoted you originally $95. We're going to come to the table and take a little bit of a less markup and maybe sell it to you for $125. Any of that kind of discussion?
No, but you know, that being said, he's been awfully good finding paint for us and putting us at the top. They're putting the governments or municipalities at the top for getting paint rather than parking lot contractors. So they're putting governments ahead, and they've been very good to find this product.
And I mean, with COVID and stuff, we have to also be understanding of the shortage. And I mean, I guess at the end of the day, they could just not give us any paint. And
that's
so at least we're getting some paint. Yeah.
So I think the best thing to do is get one application done. At least we got lane lines. Don't worry so much about the crosswalks. Maybe get a few important ones. And maybe wait it out a bit and maybe see what fall brings or later summer, and then maybe their product will come through at $95.
Right. I would support that, and especially because it's your recommendation and you're the gentleman that knows the most about this. So I think that we should take your recommendation, and I would make a motion that we do that we spend the tender amount of $70,830.10 and just receive less paint and leave that in your capable hands to decide where the paint gets distributed.
Okay. City Manager.
Thank you, Deputy Worship. Just to clarify that, we did receive 2 tenders. We did go to the second tender first, and they were unable to provide the product as well. So that was a question I had for Norm last week, and he clarified that.
Councillor Frank.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor, and I'll second it. And I know supply shortage. I was just doing the math in my head. I think I'm negative about 200,000 sheets of paper right now. So it is hitting every industry, everywhere. No one is surprised by this. It's just the world we are currently living in, and it's frustrating. And what can you do? So yeah, I'll second Councillor Mburoba's motion. I think that's the best option, and we'll just have to make do.
Okay. Just one more question I had about the crosswalk. Like currently we paint like, what size would those lines be? 6 feet by a foot and a half, or something like that?
Yeah.
And it was actually an inquiry I had last week from a citizen. Was just, do they have to be painted that way, or could you just go 2 straight lines right across?
You can, but now that we started, it's sort of, of course, when I travel to other cities, I really watch what they're doing, but there are doing a lot of bars like that, but there is some places that just go 2 lines straight across. It just makes the white bars just make it a safer intersections. It brightens up the street.
Definitely more
I guess that's the idea of it, but either option is out there.
Okay, so we have a motion, seconder. Everybody ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. Thank you, Norm. Next up, we have the Water and Wastewater Services report. Do we have a motion to accept the report as is? Councillor Laser, Councillor Clark, all in favor? Carried. Up next, building permit report for April 2022. Do we have a motion to accept that as presented? Councillor Mburoba, Councillor Leeser, all in favor? Carried. Next up, giving notice. Is that where we're at, City Clerk? Giving notice. I got it here. Proclamation, Naturopathic Medicine Week, May 15th to the 21st, 2022. Whereas May 15th to the 21st, 2022 is marked as Naturopathic Medicine Week across Saskatchewan and Canada, and whereas naturopathic medicine is a form of primary care medicine that blends centuries-old natural non-toxic therapies with current advances in the study of health and human systems, covering all aspects of family health from prenatal to geriatric care. And whereas naturopathic medicine concentrates on whole patient wellness, the medicine is tailored to the patient, emphasizes prevention, self-care, and factors in physical, social, environmental, emotional, and spiritual factors. And whereas more residents of Saskatchewan are seeking science-based, valid complementary health care, and whereas the mission of Saskatchewan Association of Naturopathic Doctors is to provide people with the health benefits of regulated, highly qualified, leading-edge naturopathic medicine in Saskatchewan. Now, therefore, I, Deputy Mayor Anthony Cernick, on behalf of Roy Ludwig, the Mayor of the City of Estevan, do hereby proclaim the week of May 15th to the 21st, 2022 as Naturopathic Medicine Week in the City of Estevan, and I urge all citizens of our community to cooperate with and participate in activities sponsored by this group. Do I have a motion to accept May 15th to the 21st as Naturopathic Week? Yeah. Councillor Clark. Councillor Mburoba, all in favor? Carried. And perfect. Up next, Operation Clean Sweep. So today, city crews for the next couple days will be out there. You're going to see the clean sweeping, the city sweeper out there. Try to find, if you see it in your area, try to clear your streets, make room for it. It buzzes around pretty quickly. I know in the past, I've had inquiries about sending the sign out ahead of time to but again, we've talked, I think, was it Norm? Anyways, it flies around pretty quick, so it's almost impossible to do that. So if you see it in your area, try to get your streets clear. May 11th, organic waste, north side. May 12th, organic waste, south side. Where are we taking the organic waste? City manager?
I'll let Norm back.
Organic waste can go to the landfill, and it's organic waste means leaves, grass clippings, and it after it deteriorates, it's used as a cover.
And on these days, it's free of charge?
The free landfill weekend, and this is with the weather in mind, something may change if we get the forecast. We got free landfill weekend this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But we're going to monitor the rain come Thursday. We may have to change it to the following weekend because we can't have 400 to 500 cars out there with a 2-3 inch rainfall stuck in the mud. So we'll make an announcement probably Thursday morning, and either we'll have it this weekend, and if the weather is not cooperating, we'll have to move it to another weekend.
Okay, so everybody watch their social media, watch the news, the media, listen to the radio. And another thing to mention would be this Saturday. I'm guessing this would be go, rain or shine. It is a household hazardous waste collection where this can be taken directly to GFL on 500 Borkwin Road, which is in between Power Dodge, the Glen Peterson industrial area, isn't it? Yes. So you can take that, and any hazardous waste will be accepted except for biological and infectious waste, compressed gases, explosives, PCB materials, radioactive materials, sharps, unlabeled chemicals, electronics, appliances, used tires. What is taken? Adhesives, aerosols, batteries, cleaners, cylinders, and corrosives, light bulbs, all that sort of stuff, mercury. So basically take it there if you have something hazardous, and they'll let you know. So no more, that's good for that? Norm?
Yeah, it's the first year for this, for the hazardous waste, and I think we've been needing this for many years, but it's a place where you can take your paints, some chemicals, whatever you have in your garage. It's a good opportunity to clean out, and this is for the city of Estevan residents only.
Okay. Councillor Frank?
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. And I guess we haven't technically approved it in budget, but I'm hoping this is something we can continue to do going forward. It's something we've certainly discussed for a few years now. And the hope is for people at home that you would continue to save these chemicals as opposed to what, let's be honest, a lot of people are probably doing, which is throwing them out when they're not supposed to, putting them down the drain. I know Councillor Vrobe, it seems shocking, but we know that you're all doing it. Don't kid ourselves, we know the truth. So this is good. You'll have the ability to save these chemicals and know that at least once a year, hopefully going forward, we'll continue to have this hazardous waste day so that you can take them and dispose of them properly, helping out our landfill, our drainage systems, making Norm's life much easier, which is always good.
Perfect. Did we need a motion? Oh, sorry, Councillor Clark.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. And certainly I just want to, we're just opening our community to the whole country here with people coming in, and the clean sweep is just is a good way to start that, to say that let's get our community looking the best it can for the people that are coming by the hundreds, if not thousands, throughout the week, to showcase our community. And I think this is a great chance to start that and clean up properties and lots and make it an inviting place. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. No motion. Okay. We're good there. So we have no motions from committee tonight. We have no consideration of bylaws tonight. And inquiries. We'll start with Councillor Vrobe.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So I have a couple of things. The first thing is Day of Caring with United Way this year is on Wednesday, May 25th. So basically what we're looking for right now is projects. The call has been put out. If you're in need of projects, if you're in need of a sunshine basket, which is something that would be delivered to someone who, say, maybe is a little more isolated at home and just a little perk up, we'll have a volunteer bring a sunshine basket. So you can go on United Way Estevan website and the project forms are there. You can also phone United Way Estevan. And if you're a volunteer, or your organization or business is volunteer or ready to volunteer, you can also go on the website or phone United Way office, and Heidi will help you. And we're going to do that next week where we coordinate the project, so it'd be nice to get a lot of those in. The other thing is sidewalks. I've had someone who sent me some pictures, and I'm sure other councillors have had this in the past. So just so everyone knows, we do have a amount in the budget that we basically do replace sidewalks each year. Norm Mack and his crew are aware of all the worst sections in Estevan. However, if there is a section in your neighborhood and you want him to be aware of it, just shoot someone a text or phone City Hall and they'll check it out. So sometimes, even though when we think our sidewalk might be the worst, it's not. It's a work in progress, and each year we continue to make progress on it, so that's good. The other one, it was an inquiry regarding the valley behind Jubilee Place, 4th Avenue and Perkins Street, Buffalo Lookout. When I first moved to Estevan, there was actually buffalo down there. Now there's not. There are coyotes and deer. And so what the resident was wondering is, City Manager, if we could look into a partnership possibly with Ducks Unlimited. They were under the understanding that there is some federal funding there for Ducks Unlimited to receive, and they were wondering if that would be a good partnership to, A, clean up some of the debris that's down there, and they also said there was a lot of plants and different things, and there was a lot of wildlife and the birds down there while they were walking the other day, so they just thought that was a really good area, and the gentleman was willing to be a liaison between Ducks Unlimited and ourselves if needed.
Interesting. Awesome.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councillor Verova. Councillor Clark.
Nothing tonight, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Releaser.
Nothing tonight.
Nothing tonight. Judy. Or Church. True. Nothing. Councillor Ford.
Thank you. Well, my first request is to one day start on this side of the room because Councillor Verova took my first day of carrying things.
Wow.
Everybody always steals my stuff.
Very good idea, though. Very good idea.
The second thing is just a reminder, the Coal Country Run is this weekend, and I'm not sure if it's Parks that put up the signs, but there are some signs on our pathways. Just a reminder that you are sharing the pathways with bicycle riders this weekend, so just be cautious when you're kind of going up and down those hills, because there will be bike riders first thing in the morning for Coal Country Run. And leading into that, City Manager, do you think we could work with marketing and the police a little bit to get some bike safety tips out for people, for adults and children, all, because there's a lot of people out on bikes right now, and some of them aren't sure of the rules, and a lot of motorists aren't sure of the rules as well. I think if we could do that, if possible.
Thank you, Councillor Ford. Yes, I will talk to the police chief and bylaw on that, and we should also take that to the traffic control committee, just so if they have any comments.
Awesome. Thank you. Councillor Frank.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. And to Councillor Ford, if it makes you feel better, for 4 years I sat there and Councillor Moore sat here, and he never had an inquiry because by the time it got to you, and now in my time in this seat, I've seen the same thing. But I do have an inquiry tonight. I actually just going to the Traffic Board and Police Board, coming from Wellick onto Souris Ave. It's actually one of the few yield signs left in all of town. Councillor Verova has some comments on this, clearly. And I did have a person who says they were in a near miss there and was wondering, you know, that being one of the few yield signs left in town, particularly after we put a lot of stop signs in last year, if that could be addressed and changed to a stop sign. It is onto a quite busy street. So.
It's funny that it hasn't yet. Councillor Verova.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So I'm actually on the police board, and I did bring this forward with an inquiry from a concerned citizen for the same reason. I actually thought it was going to be changed to a stop sign, but after going to a traffic advisory board, it was deemed it's not an unsafe intersection based on the way the flow of the traffic and the fact that it's a bit of a hill there. They said it's actually better to continue with the yield sign in that location. So there was another one brought up on 2nd Street at the same time, and that one was changed to a stop sign. So again, the police chief at the meeting basically did say that yield signs are kind of one of those iffy things where it's hard to get a conviction with the yield sign because of the fact that it's, again, I don't want to put words in his mouth. So what I heard was that when you have a yield sign, it's hard to determine who's at fault because it really just says slow down into the intersection when you think it's safe to do so. And so, yeah, but I thought it was going to get changed and it did not. So basically the yield sign is going to stay unless you want to try and bring it a second time, which it was just brought forward last month. So might be too soon to bring it just yet.
So I guess I'm curious. So the police chief doesn't like them because it's hard to get a conviction. So why was it?
It's the ice was the real reason why to keep the yield sign, because of the slope. So when I first brought it up, I thought I had him pulled in to say we're going to change it. And then basically when I went to the traffic board, it was decided that at that location, the way it is, even though it's not something they put in a lot of, I guess is how he explained it. Like now it's more stop sign, but at that location, the yield sign was deemed appropriate, because if they put a stop sign in and then had a big backlog of traffic, especially with all the traffic that comes from Pleasantdale School, Sacred Heart School, Wellick Road in general, and then coming off of the highway, the sight line going onto the highway is quite easy. And I think they also looked into the fact of how many accidents have happened at that location, and there's been very few.
So I guess my only comment to that, coming from that area quite regularly, because I did see this as a concern, would be that in fact, almost never have I ever actually yielded there, because there's always traffic coming from that highway. So to me, that seems moot, just because you are always stopping there, so the slope isn't right. So I guess my question would probably be to City Clerk as to whether or not council has the ability to make that motion to change that, regardless of what the opinion of traffic committee is.
Councillor Frank, you would have to put it back to the police to change. You don't, this form doesn't have the expertise on what traffic would be.
Okay,
So,
well then I would put that back to them. So that'll be my request. So anyways, thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Nothing to add, Deputy Worship.
Nothing. I did not have an inquiry tonight, but I did forget to mention at the very beginning of the meeting that I am sitting in this chair because Mayor Roy Ludwig is on a well-deserved vacation. So, City Clerk? Awesome. We're good. Can I have a motion for council to go into committee? Councilor Verova, Councilor Leeser, all in favor? Awesome. We are adjourned.